in front of you, you have got the third angle orthographic projection task. When you start to make your robot, it's really important that you know the measurements of all of the features of the parts of your robot, so that when you start to make it, you make it to the correct size. On your page in front of you, you will see that the orthographic view has been started, the front view has been drawn, and all the measurements have been labelled on for you. This drawing isn't to scale, so it's not to the real size, but what we're going to do is we're going to have a go at completing a third angle projection. Third angle projection is given its name because it shows 3 sides to an object. So we can see here we've got the front view of the robot. We're then going to have the top view, so bird's eye views if we're looking down on top of the robot, and then we're going to have the side view. To draw the top view, we are going to use parts of the diagram that's already been drawn. So what we are going to do, we are going to place our ruler on the right hand side of the head and the body, and we're going to draw a guideline going up into the top view very faintly, like so. So if you do that now, we're then going to repeat on the left hand side. So again, very carefully match your ruler up to the left hand side of the head and the body, and draw a faint guideline going up into the top view. If you do that now, to give us the height of the top of the head, we're going to go with 3 centimeters. So what you're going to do, on the first faint line that you've drawn, measuring from the dashed lines in the top view, you're going to measure 3 centimeters up and press harder with your pencil and draw a good solid line on. You're then going to repeat the same on the other side, and then match those two together along the dotted lines at the bottom and then at the top, so that we have the top view of the head. If you now do that. Okay, what we now need to do is draw on the tops of the arms. So obviously when you look down from the robot, you will see the top of the arms. Now these normally sit in the middle of the body. So what we are going to do is we are going to find the halfway point of our head, which is obviously it's 3 centimeters, so we're going to go 1.5. And so we're going to now go 1 centimeter down and draw a dash, and then 1 centimeter up from the bottom. So you're literally just drawing a dash at the 1 centimeter line and the 2 centimeter line on both sides of the head, so that we have something that looks like that. In order to draw these in, we're going to use a set square. Now this is a 30-degree angle set square, but we want to get a good 90-degree angle, and this gives us that perfectly. So what we can do is we can place the side of our set square against the solid line in the middle of the diagram. And you should find, if you've measured accurately, it should match up those 2 dashes on either side of your robot head. And we're just going to draw a faint guideline going across. Remember, your guideline should be very, very faint, just visible on your page. So again, just a very faint guideline going across. If you do that now, what we can now do is we can draw on the right hand side of the arm, because we can see that's already been created for us with the dashed lines that's coming down. So we can just draw that in like so. What we haven't got though is we haven't got the far side of the arm, but we have got it below. So again, all we're going to do is we're going to match our ruler and draw a faint guideline going up until it crosses that line, and then we can draw, pressing much harder with our pencil, our guideline going down. And now what we have got is, if you were to look down from the top of the robot, we would obviously see the head and we would see the top of the two arms. Next is the side view, and this is a little trickier. The first thing we're going to do is get the placement of our arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our set square, and we are going to match the edge of the set square with the side of the head. We can do it with the side of the head in the front view and the top view. Match it to the top of the arm, and we can draw a faint guideline all the way until it crosses that diagonal line. Repeat for the bottom of the arm, so that we have two faint guidelines going all the way across to those diagonals. What we then need to do is turn these down 90 degrees so they come down vertically. So what we can use is we can use the line underneath our title to put our set square against, so that it's a nice vertical line. Match that up perfectly, and then we can start to draw this down nice and vertically. Same with the other one. And then we've got the start of our lines coming down. Now these need to go all the way down to the bottom, so I can now use my ruler, match that line back up, and very faintly draw that line all the way down. Now that's going to give me the placement for the arm. To help me draw the arm in, I can take the height of the arm from the front view by matching my ruler up and drawing a faint guideline going across, and the same at the bottom. And that rectangle that is created is the arm. So you can then press that down harder with your pencil, and we can draw that in. Next, we can look at drawing the head. So we've already got the place for the base of the head, because again we've got it in the front view. So we can just match our ruler, and again very faint guideline going across into the side view. Now if we look at the front of the head in the top view, it sits along the dashed lines. If we follow these dashed lines until it gets to the diagonal, it already comes down 90 degrees. So this part here becomes the side of our head. So we can draw that part in there, pressing down nice and firmly. What we need though is the width. So again, what we're going to be doing is we are going to match our set square to the edge of the head in the top view and the front view. Get a nice 90-degree angle line, and then draw a faint guideline until it crosses that diagonal. We can then again bring this down vertically, match your set square with the base of the line on the title, and bring this down nice and vertically. What this should then do is create the head for you. So you just then follow those guidelines, pressing harder with your pencil to draw in the head. I'm going to leave the neck for a minute because we're going to need to draw something in the top view to help us draw the neck on the side view. But what we can do is we can do the body. So we can see here that the body is actually the same width as the head. So therefore, the body on the side view is going to be at the same line as the left-hand side of the head, which is the dashed line. And it's going to be the same width as the head here. So I can take the right-hand side of the head, use your set square, and draw a faint guideline going all the way down to give you your body. So we can see here the top of our shoulders, the top of the body is in line with the top of the arms. So that can just get drawn in with a nice heavy line. We can see here that the body actually comes past the end of the hand, the arms, and comes down a little bit further. So again, we can match up our ruler with the base of the body on the front view and draw a faint guideline going all the way across into the side view. We can now draw that rectangle in, so following the dashed lines for the left hand side, the line in line with the head, and then same with matching the front of the body. And then that has given us the side view of the body. Now the feet, you can't see it from the diagram, but the length or the depth of the feet is the same as the body. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to match our ruler with the very base of the feet and carefully draw a faint guideline going across. We're then going to do the same for the top of the feet. So that you have two guidelines going across. So to draw on the feet, what we're going to do is we are going to continue the back of the feet in line with the body. So we can just come down those dashed lines with a nice thick line. We can then draw the base of the feet, which is the same width as the body and the head. The height of the foot, you can see, has already been drawn on between the two lines. And then to create the feet and the legs, we're going to come along the top of the foot into that first dashed line. And then we're going to match a diagonal between the front of the body and the top of the foot, so that we have the side view of the leg and the foot. So if you make sure you do that now. So the last thing we've got to draw on is the neck, and we can't draw the neck on the side view because we haven't got any guidelines to show us where the neck is on the top view. Now obviously from the top view you won't see the neck, so in a third angle orthographic projection you show any hidden details, so the fact that the neck would be hidden underneath the head, using a dashed line. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the top view of our head, and we are going to draw a faint guideline, so match up our neck and draw a faint guideline all the way up into the head on both sides of the neck. We can then measure 1/2 centimetre, so 5 millimetres, from the base of the top view of the head and draw a faint guideline going across. And then the same coming down from the top. And what you'll see that will do is that creates the square underneath the head to show where the neck will be. So as I said, any hidden details are shown with a dashed line. So instead of drawing this in with a solid harsh line, we're just going to draw some nice accurate dashed lines to show that square. Like so. So now that we've got the hidden details of the neck on the head, we can now get the position of the neck in the side view. So same as we did before, we're going to use our set square, match it up with the side of the head and the body, and with those dashed lines we've just drawn, and we can now draw a faint guideline until it crosses the diagonal. Same with the top of the dashed cube. Obviously, pay attention to which lines they are that cross the diagonal. We then want to rotate them down again, so you can place your set square to get a nice vertical line coming down. Same with your other side. Remember, guidelines should be very, very faint. And then what that does is creates the lines for the neck, which you can just draw down, pressing harder. And then that completes the third angle orthographic projection of your robot.